CJ, any predictions for Endpoint versus Guild? Who do you think might be the better team?
Well, look, Endpoint, Metsadorus was on my team in the crew battles, Cole, and, you know, although we didn't get the win, I felt something. I felt a connection there, and I just think that, you know, that experience of being in a grand final already on the Rocket League Summit could really pay dividends here coming up against Guild. So I'm all on the Endpoint train. 2-0 in the groups. Loved how they performed in there, and I think they can do it.
That says Cole right there, in case anyone couldn't see. I was trying to arc my back.
I know what you were doing.
I was definitely trying to show my goal. Right. Come on, Endpoint. Beat Guild Esports. Johnny and CJ, take it away.
Oh my goodness, the caster bias is real. That's why we had to sit Cole on the hosting bench for this one, because he was just going to be too big of an Endpoint fan. But, you know, Endpoint have been picking up a lot more fans this year. Initially, they were kind of the baddies of Rocket League. They're winning series because they're bumping everybody, and, you know, extremely controversial. Everybody hates them, but now I think everybody's gained a lot of respect for that strategy. This should be more of a standard series from them. We're not seeing the Christmas cars from Guild so far. Do you think that's going to be a problem, CJ?
I was just going to say, Johnny, right on cue, we talk about one team and the other team scores.
Yeah.
No, the Christmas decals, they haven't come out yet, but it'll be interesting to see if we do see a one-sided series here. Boy, I'm excited to see what presets do come out.
Oh yes. Well, I was informed by Nolly after the end of the group stage the other day that he was actually rocking the Devo Season 2 car. So I'm going to be paying close attention to see if he's doing that again. That was why he called himself Nolly, Devo's biggest fan, by the way. I didn't pick up on that. He was really upset at me, actually. I'm just annoying all the pro players, apparently, at this event. But yeah, I feel like I had to tell you guys about that. Nolly, not just a big fan of Devo, but also a Devo imposter.
Well, thanks for that. Anyway, Endpoint, they look a little bit cold here, Johnny. We saw that previous goal, a little bit of a whiff coming out from Relating Wave. Tough read, but I expect better of him personally. So, you know, not quite warm yet. There's a great little passing play almost goes in.
Oh, the pass was perfect, but what happened to the shot, I don't know. I mean, that's 2 posts in a row for Endpoint. And both of those shots should have been on target, you know, at least from the perspective I had of them. They didn't look like they were not scoreable. If you know what I mean. They should be hitting the target, testing the goalkeeper, especially early on in a series like this. You got to just test the keeper, see if he's put his gloves on right, see if he's warmed up properly. See, it's, you know, no better time to sneak a goal, an easy shot past the goalie, than right to the start of a game or right to the end of a game. Oh my goodness, Nolly has just missed from inside the goal. Oh, what a save as well by Betsa. Endpoint are hanging in here. But that really should have been 3-0.
Oh my goodness, what is going on? But speaking of Guild, Johnny, did you witness Gregan hit a musty double tap?
I did not.
Musty double tap.
What, is this on Twitter or something?
Yeah, see, of course he posted it. You know, it's a typical Gregan, obviously the coach of Guild, thing to do, let everyone know about it. But I don't think I've ever hit one. So, you know, a coach might be better than me.
Yeah, Greg he's been grinding. He's been putting in those hours. Still, you know, masquerading as a coach as he actually is, just trying to become a professional player this entire time. That's his real sneaky goal there behind the sneak.
He's so slow at getting better that he just, I'll become a coach first and just pretend that I don't want to be a pro. I like that. It's a good strat.
Yeah, nobody's clocked onto it, actually. He's just flying under the radar there. But Guild definitely are on the radar for today's game. If they weren't, you know, before the start of the game, Endpoint have to be showing them some respect here. They just heard that Galaxy Racer have lost 2 straight series and been eliminated from the tournament. Endpoint are on track to repeat that process. And, you know, for me, the one player that I'm always looking at to pop off and really elevate Endpoint, it's Metsa. Relating Wave is like their solid defender, virtuoso. He's like he's their troublemaker. Every team's got one. He's the one who's just making life difficult for the other team. And then Metsa is sort of the guy who, you know, when he doesn't show up, Endpoint look terrible. And when he does show up, Endpoint look world class. So what kind of Metsa we're going to get today, we're going to have to wait and find out.
I mean, I'm still stuck in, you know, Season 4, Johnny, and back then, Metsa, on Method, I believe, back in the day, he was phenomenal. I mean, he was almost ahead of his time mechanically as well. Particularly in defense, I was really impressed with him, and I mean, that's where you look for him. If I was on Metsa's team, I'd be like, mate, you know, you've been in RLCS Grand Finals. Like, give us something. You know, where is recapture that, please? Help us out. Is that a whiff of Virtuoso? Oh, and he does make the silly save there. Very nice.
Yeah, nice recovery there to make up for his own misplay. Nolly has a flip to work with in this backboard position, but no center ball coming in for Guild. They do have that 2-goal lead though, and with a minute left in the clock, I'd be surprised to see them diving in for risky plays. Just as I say that, they did actually just dive in for a risky play. So don't listen to me. Guild, I mean, they're going for the 3-0, I guess, and they're actually going to get hit by the first goal for Endpoint today, and it is going to be Season 4 Metza. He's rolling back the years and poaching to make the goal a bit bigger at the back post.
One of my favorite positions there, just sitting on the opponent's back post.
You do
don't
love
worry
that,
about rotating. Yeah, it might just, you know, the ball might just sneak out there to get a free goal. So that's how you get some more stats. If you're watching at home, you want to, you know, you want to get some free goals in ranked, sit back post on the opponent's net, and I'm sure your teammates will love you.
I know that, you know, most players, their flow chart in that position is, you know, rotate straight back or rotate straight back. That's like the decision that most players at professional level will be making, whereas yours are poach and wait for the open net goal steal, or, you know, your other option would be steal the boost. And if it's not there, you know, you've got an extra little arm coming off the flow chart saying, wait for the boost to spawn and then steal it.
Well, look, you know, you referenced a lot back in the day with his cherry picking, and for some reason he was just so offended with it. I don't know why it's an offensive thing. I think it's awesome. You know, I can just rock with it, run it, and who knows what will happen.
100%. I mean, it's dangerous when you've got a player who's just willing to sit upfield a little bit longer. You are going to get more opportunities out of it. And there, Metza did make the goal bigger. That's basically what he was doing there. He's just extending the width of that far post area so that more shots are actually going to end up in the back of the net. The problem for Endpoint here is that they just started off far too slowly. Guild were able to dominate the early possession. And although I would be really surprised if Endpoint stay this flat for the entire series, that's kind of how I would describe this whole game for them. They had a few opportunities at the end of the game because I think Guild got a bit careless, if anything else. And I'm not trying to just say that Endpoint had no chance apart from Guild throwing, but they just didn't really bring it at the start of this game, did they?
Well, look, I think for Guild, I've been really impressed with Devo and his sort of addition to the lineup, because previously, sort of, you know, when he was back on Barcelona, he was sort of like me at family gatherings. You know, I'm there, but I'm not really doing anything. You know, I don't really want to be there. But right now, Devo, he looks like he wants to be there, Johnny, and that's the main thing. And he's, you know, he's bringing that speed, and he's not just whipping around the field, and everyone's going, is he actually doing anything? Right now, really impressed with him, and a huge reason as to why Guild have been, you know, playing quite well this tournament.
You know, for a while when, you know, basically the only thing that stopped the previous Split 1 Barca from being EU plot twist was Ronicky and Team Liquid's failure in the first split. You know, Devo's look great on his new team, Itachi's look great on his new team, and again, the connection is there. This time it's though to Devo, and I've got to say, Devo is just looking better and better every single tournament we see him play in these days. That's a great shot. Metza maybe expecting the backboard to be the option by the looks of things, but Devo had his eye on one thing, and it was another goal for Guild.
It just really pumps my own tyres up, you know, when I just mention how good Devo's playing, and then he just puts one away for me. I mean, I'll send him my PayPal later on, but great timing and a great start for Guild.
So now it's really crunch time for Endpoint. You know, are they just going to sit back and wait for Guild to overextend, or are they going to try and press forward? Oh, they're going to get a bit of both here. Relating Wave capitalizes by pressing forward on a Guild misplay here. That wasn't the clear that Nolly was looking for. He's trying to hit that one straight into the corner, actually centers it towards Relating Wave, who puts it in off the post.
I mean, just a phenomenal pass from Nolly there. Just a second to none there coming off the backboard. I mean, I think there should be, all right, so if you assist the other team scoring like that, I reckon that's minus points, and that, or it should be something. Like, let's see it. If you've hit the ball, or, you know, you've turned it over and hit the ball, let's see that on the scoreboard somehow.
Yeah, I think, you know, giving away a possession should definitely account to the scoreboard stats, because you don't lose points for own goaling in Rocket League. So, you know, ball chasers are always going to get more points. And there, Nolly probably got credited with a clear ball, even though, you know, although he's gained in 20 points on the scoreboard, he should be getting negative points, like you said, for miss-hitting the ball. But, you know, that's just the score. And although pros always say that they don't care about it, we all know that that's a lie, and every pro is checking their post-game stats, they're checking their Octane GG rating, seeing if they popped off, and then finding out most of the time, I'm sure, that they didn't, and quickly trying to forget about it. Oh, great play. Relating Wave's definitely popping off here. Kolik's absolutely thrilled off camera here. He is punching the air with both hands.
Yep, that is, yeah, that's a cool thing to do. Anyway, Relating Wave, so much time on the ball, and I think he just sort of got in the air, Johnny, and he's like, where is everyone? And instead of going for a flip reset or anything, he's just decided to do the most basic standard air dribble and just went straight in. It was pretty much an open net.
You know, air dribbles were an interesting part of the Rocket League meta because when they first came out, they were so effective. Nobody knew how to defend against the basic air dribble. But then they kind of fell off a little bit as defenders got better against them. And it's only because now we've got air dribble dunks, air dribble bumps, air dribble flip resets, air dribble double touches, and just the vanilla air dribble itself. It's that variety that makes the standard air dribble so much harder to defend, because you don't know if it's going to be the standard air dribble until it's too late. And their guild, they probably wish that somebody just charged the play instead of sitting back and giving Relating Wave that much momentum.
I love that you say that as well, because especially even just the slow shot, Johnny, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone's expecting the top corner bang, and that's where my striking really comes into fruition, because I still can't hit the top corner, but everyone expects me to. So when I just put a little, you know, little bottom roller into the bottom middle of the net, no one expects that. They double commit the corners, and it goes in. A little redirect from Metz, the man that you're looking out for.
Hey, that's a pop-off shot right there. If that one doesn't get the entire team yelling in the comms, I don't know what will. That is a delicious strike by Metsonoris. He just sliced off a little bit of the ball there, just a little bit of the Christmas cake, and he's passed it around there, just giving it to the rest of the team. Beautiful. Just waiting for the ball to go past him before he makes contact. Also, you know, having momentum in the opposite direction there actually adds speed to the shot. Big thanks to Rocket League Science for explaining that one to my zero IQ brain.
Well, I'm glad you said it, Johnny. I mean, wait, you know, I always haven't thought highly of your intellectual ability, but, you know, I reckon, you know, self-awareness is the first step. So congratulations and all the best on your road to getting smarter.
I mean, I'm working on it. You know, it's never too old to learn. That's what I keep telling myself. But it has. I'll be honest. It hasn't really helped all that much. You know, confidence, unfortunately, doesn't really translate into faster learning. At least in my case. But what it does do is it makes you a lot more convincing. So even if you are wrong, nobody else knows. You can just, you know, if you, it's like what they say. If you have enough confidence, you can just walk into a shop and take away the television. Nobody will bat an eyelid because you just look like you're meant to be there, meant to be doing that. You know, how much of that is a big part of Pro Rocket League. You know, confidence is everything. You know, if you just feel like you're meant to be there and meant to be winning and be on the summit too, then yeah, you're gonna get it.
And actually reminds me, I watched the video, right, of this guy that reckons that if you're holding a ladder, you can get into absolutely anywhere. Have you seen like those sort of videos?
Oh, I believe
it is phenomenal. Like, people don't bat an eyelid. You just walk straight through, hold a ladder, you're into movies, you're into theme parks, you're anywhere you want to be. You're just on a mission, you know?
I mean, if we were at a LAN right now and, you know, we're casting this game live in person and some guy just showed up with a ladder and started like doing some work beside us, I'd be like, oh, we're in, like you said, we're in this guy's way. We're in, you know, his zone. Like, we need to get out of the way so he can do whatever it is that he's doing. Oh, no! Just getting at the target. Gil needed that one. To be fair, Endpoint would have needed a set ladder to save that one because it was just a bit too high for the goalkeepers. Fortunately, Crossbar had him covered. There's still a chance here, though, for Guild. And that was the poaching again. Nolly doing exactly what you pointed out in game one, just sticking around a little bit longer, especially at the end of the game. You've got to do that. You're not going to win if you rotate.
And I just love, you know, we've talked about it all weekend, those shots that are nearly too good here with 4 seconds left. Let's just see if Endpoint can, you know, if Guild can manufacture something here. And no, see you later. They're just going to smack that one on the ground. But, you know, the shots that are too good. And just watching Nolly try and follow, you know, he was never going to get back to it. It was barred down and it was so far up. But he just tried and he just miserably fell into the net. I mean, it is just so frustrating when you, you know, you hit too good of a shot that no one can follow it up. Fortunately, they did get the goal, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, it was the perfect amount of it was the perfect miss, really, where it hits the bar, bounces on the ground, and then it just narrowly misses the crossbar on the way up, so it's completely
Mm.
unscoreable on the rebound. Whereas, if you miss by a larger margin, easy tap in for the teammate. But that's what Rocket League is. It's a very punishing game, and you don't have a shoot button, you don't have a pass button. You've got to actually do everything yourself. I think actually one of the most interesting comparisons I heard about Rocket League is that you're kind of, since you are just playing football or soccer, I guess, indoor, of course, you're kind of like a boot just driving around. You're the single shoe
Mm.
of a player, and trying to manipulate your car the exact same way as a real football player would their foot to try and get the ball to go in the right direction. Of course, feet can't fly, so it's not the best comparison. Feet don't need boost, but you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah, that's why they pay you the big bucks. Thanks for that.
Welcome.
No, it wasn't too bad. Now, Johnny, I've been wanting to say for a while. Now it's 1-1. It's pretty much now just the best of 5.
Mm-hmm.
No one really cares about talking about the game for another couple minutes. Now, we spoke about this in the last Rocket League Summit. All right. Ideas for how to improve Rocket League.
Yeah.
And do you remember talking to Rizzo about being on the hunt?
Yes.
Which is when you're
Oh my goodness. Yes.
when you're pursuing someone, when you're trying to chase someone down for a demo. What we want in Rocket League, now Sonics, listen up, all right? Whoever needs to listen, all right? If you're right behind someone, give us the Mario Kart boost. The speed boost. Let's really make demos annoying. Give us the slipstream. That's pretty much what I'm saying. It's not just Mario Kart, it's real life. But let's speed up. If you've got low boost, just follow someone. You'll eventually hit Supersonic.
Let them hit us up with that slipstream. I mean, it could even be a kind of a team synergy thing. Wait a minute, what on earth is happening here? A little bit of a ghost challenge there by Tho. Probably seeing double because he in fact did just flip straight past the real ball. Luckily, there was still one more back for Guild. I'm on board with that. I want to see it. I want to see that slipstream mechanic, at least in a different Rocket League game mode or playlist or something. See what that does to the game. Because, if you can just catch up to someone, it makes it very interesting. At least it makes dribbling a lot less safe when you are, when you're being chased. But it also would make shadowing a lot less safe, because if you're shadowing, then actually the guy dribbling would get the speed boost. That's really changed the defense as well as offense.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I thought it was such a good idea when I brought it up originally, which was over 12 months ago. But I just really think it got swept under the carpet. I thought it was well received at the time, and then we all just forgot about it. Being on the hunt, you can get a little, when you get a accolade that can come up when you get the speed boost, like on the hunt. That's or you get like 10 points for it or something to increase your speed. It could change the dynamics, and it could be exciting.
Absolutely, I'm all for it. I'm all for the experimentation. I mean, my personal favorite idea to just slightly change the game, and this is again just me as a Rocket League fan wanting to watch more Rocket League, basically. So I would love to see a slightly bigger pitch and see what that would do, because right now the game is so fast that you can cover the entire field, with an aerial land, be back in your half in just a split second. Like, pros are so much quicker now and so much better at maintaining the speed that they get than back in the day. Now, I wonder what Rocket League 3v3 would look like on a slightly bigger pitch. I know that that's the only real adaptation that you get in real football and soccer is the size of the pitch, width of the pitch, length of the pitch. Maybe you could have a home-away game where one team just really like playing in a slightly smaller pitch, and some teams like want to play on a long, thin pitch. You'd have like the different preferences, because there's a lot of talk about map variety in competition, but you need to change the shape of the map and the walls and everything. You just need change the actual distance that the walls are apart. I don't think that's been done, unless we're talking stadium. Stadium's a bit bigger, I believe, with the goals off the wall. Yeah, hit us up with your best ideas in Twitch chat, and of course on Twitter, using the BTS hashtag.
Absolutely, and I think a bigger pitch, you know, like in football when you have, or soccer, wherever you are, how you have the old people, you know, the old, you know, they're the good passers, but they don't run and they just stand in the middle of the pitch. That could be you, Johnny, and that's why I think you're advocating for it. You know, you're a little bit biased, but you know, the speed isn't quite there, but the brains are there. You know what to do. You could just patrol that middle of the field and just, you know, find those passes around the defense.
Or, you know, for you, just pause for a second. Nolly, why? Relating wave. Would have loved to see a replay of that one, and I would as well. But you know, yourself, CJ, you could be just poaching to a whole new level. I mean, you're already... I mean, think of how much more out of position you could be. Like right now, you're out of position. We make the pitch a bit longer. You're really out there. You're like,
I'm setting up a barbecue. I'm cooking a feed while the other guys are defending down the other end. Have fun. I'll get an ice cream.
I want to see it happen now. We know we picked a great game for this. Sometimes you just have like a sixth sense as a Rocket League caster that no goals are happening. I had the same feeling. I was like, this is the game where we talk about what we can do to Rocket League in the next Rocket League Summit. Nah, it's not coming. This is overtime, obviously. Then a kickoff goal.
I feel like you spoke about this on another series, but it just happens so much. No goal for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then there's about 4 and 30 seconds straight after that. It
next
is
game,
crazy.
Well, that'll be next game. As you know, kickoff with goal and OT would make a lot of sense here, because honestly, the most Rocket League thing that could happen is if both teams do really, really risky kickoffs in overtime, and one of them just gets the easiest tap-in kickoff goal because of it. So let's see. I mean, the riskiest kickoff, of course, would be the boost grab, cheats up the line while there's a dead ball in the middle. Okay, that's the first half of it. Oh, it didn't bounce very well. You know, this could have been it. If that ball bounced a little bit better for Guild, they were just scoring. Because Metso is in the corner. He's out of the game. Oh, almost. It looked so clever, CJ, but unfortunately, I will have to continue being stupid.
Oh, Devo, they just... I'm talking about sitting downfield. We've mentioned it a lot, but we saw Metz's goal earlier. This is what's going to take in overtime, Johnny. Someone to just have a little bit of confidence or just a little bit of trust in their team to just get a redirect or sit in that midfield, and then they can, you know, build that pressure from there. Just getting an interesting touch. That's all it can mean, you know, in Rocket League sometimes.
Yeah, this could be it, actually. Not the most power there. Actually had a couple of options. Maybe slow down the play, wait for the bump to come ahead. But, of course, there were retreating Endpoint players coming back to help out in defense. This is some solid corner play by Vert. He's baiting in Guild. He's staying goal side of the ball. There's no way that bounces on target for Guild. And we are actually heading back into that back and forth play where now that the chaos, the volatility after the kickoff is settled down, full rotation has been established. There's boost available for every team, and it's much harder to score a goal.
This could be it, though. No, he just decides, no, let's not end this game. I'm going to put that one wide, as Virtuoso does. Parry that one to the wall. And this is the case sometimes as well, Johnny. Sometimes I feel like both teams just don't want to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they both just agree that there's been no goals. Let's really not try and score. You know, let's just use stuff up first, please.
Did somebody tell them that there was extra prize money for the longest game? Because that is absolutely not the case. But we might have had a sneaky little admin here pulling a prank on both teams, trying to get them to pull out the longest OT. It's going to be pretty hard to do that, though, because we had, I think, a 9-minute OT earlier in the tournament, so this one surely can't go that long.
Yeah, I believe you and Yummy were casting that, and you pretty much said this will go 10 minutes, and then someone scored. So I'm just going to come out and say, this is going to go 2 minutes.
Oh!
We do
You're absolutely right. You just have to call when it's going to go to, and then the players remember, oh yeah, let's actually just prove the casters wrong again. Relating Wave with the winner. Endpoint are up 1 game. And this was just a tense back and forth between both teams, and no real creativity, I would say. They're both reading each other very well. Took a couple of games to get into the rhythm. Now everybody's reading the game exceptionally well. Endpoint have stepped up the pace, matching Guild in that regard. And I think it's up to Guild to be a bit more sneaky now. They need to be more unpredictable because Endpoint have definitely got their number.
Yeah, look, you mentioned creativity, and I was nearly getting a little bit frustrated before, Johnny, listening to you, because you were talking about the next mechanic being, you know, being ground pinches and ground double touches, stuff like that. And let's just slow down, all right? I'm still working on the ceiling shots. Gregan's just hit a ceiling musty double touch. I need to catch up to a coach, all right? So let's just forget about the ground pitches, the ground double touches first, and let's just let a few people catch up, because right now it's getting ridiculous.
Well, you know, that's what
Unbelievable.
makes OCE the region that it is, you know, isolated from the rest of the world. You know, the
Mm.
rest of the world are inventing new mechanics that OCE haven't even touched yet, such as, you know,
Yeah,
like
I just found my
open net
second thumb.
goals and, you know, actually hitting the ball, you know, not team for quadruple whiffing. But
Mm.
OCE, they're going to get there eventually. I'm sure that they'll benefit more when lands are back and they get a practice against teams like Endpoint. I mean, is there anybody in OCE who's kind of a demo main like Virtuoso used to be?
Me? Nah, Express is actually a bit of a demo main. Actually,
yeah?
honestly, my whole team has a lot of demos. We had a game
Yeah.
where, well, get this. I thought we had a lot of demos. This is the current meta in OCE. We had a game, right? It was a 6.
Yep.
We had 6 games. We won 4-2.
Yep.
We had 19 demos, which seems like a lot.
That's a ton, yeah.
It's 19. The other team had 37.
What? In one game?
That was Canberra Havoc. Yeah, she had a no. In a series. In a series.
Oh my!
Yeah.
I thought you meant a game. I was like, that's the most I've ever heard by a man.
That is disgusting. That was no. So like 6 or 7 a game. That's still a lot though. So
Yeah,
shout out to Canberra Havoc, Cranberry Havoc for that. That was an interesting series. Yeah, Canberra.
Canberra Havoc.
Oh dear.
So for me, like I said in the past game, Gil just needs to be a bit more creative. You know, this can happen at the highest level. You come out with a pace that's a bit faster than the other team are expecting. You catch them a bit flat-tired. Gil did that. They were just a bit quicker than Endpoint early on. But now they've kept that going. Endpoint have warmed up to the occasion. They've stepped up the pace. And now I think it's up to Gil to be a bit more sneaky, go for the mind games, go for the flip reset plays, some more methodical approaches to what they're currently doing. And even just some passing out of defense would help them a ton because Endpoint are reading everything that Gil do at the moment.
100%, and I think one of the last, the last game when you have those really tight, no one scores 0-0 overtime, it's sort of, you lost that game, but no one really won it at the same time. No one really tried to be creative or anything. So, you could just repeat that, rinse and repeat, because in another scenario, in a 0-0 game, you're probably winning that. It's just whoever makes the first mistake. But I think if you're Guild, you're gonna have to think, all right, guys, that was pathetic. From both teams there. We didn't really create anything. Both teams were a little bit safe. Let's be the team right now to shake it up. Let's be the team to sit downfield. We saw Meta on Endpoint get that redirect. Let's see more of that. Guys sitting downfield, just being an option. Because right now, this hits like that, Johnny, that someone could be downfield for, but instead Virtuoso just gets so much time and space on the ball. He literally gets to get 2 hits for free. So let's just push downfield and have a crack.
Okay, that's a big chance actually for Nolly. Is it going to bounce kindly for him? It is. He's able to collect the dribble and flick it towards the back post, but Metza on the recovery will pop it into the bar. That was nice ball chasing by Metza. The shooting's not there for Guild CJ. That's another crossbar. They've had a couple, if not 3 this game. So already a lot of problems for them. Finishing has gone completely down the toilet, but that creativity is still lacking for me as well. And they're going to need to fix one of those 2 things at some point.
100%. I mean, these past 2 games, it's reminding me of my favorite EU team, Veloce, at the moment.
Oh,
very defensive. Very defensive from both sides, and both just probably more trying not to lose. We haven't seen too many great opportunities. That could be one from Landing Wave. Gets the double. Devo is able to carry it out, seemingly having 300 boost in net.
That was a great play by Relating Wave. What a recovery to continue making a play on that ball. But now, Gilder coming forward. That's a cheeky pass by Tho. Devo will be denied at the near post, however. This is a bit more life in the game now. This is what we were hoping for. That's not the best first touch by Virtuoso, so he's kind of forced to give it away on the second touch there because the first touch was just too heavy.
It is though. This is an opportunity. He might go for the bump. Does just go for the extra touch, and that's going to be all he needs to break this deadlock here, game number 4.
And it's another vanilla air dribble, not for the first time this series. Just that last touch was too much. Virtuoso was waiting to see if Relating Wave would get a piece of it, and he realized too late that actually he was going to have to make a save on that one all by himself. Good job by Tho. Bringing back the Guild special. They've been well known for their air dribbling play, even since Scrub is on the team. They love to just solo air dribble the ball straight on net, but now they're not doing it with too much frequency to become predictable. Like we said, gotta be able to surprise a team like Endpoint.
100%. Any team really right now in Europe, it's such a level sort of competition right now as that shot goes wide. That was seemingly open. Johnny, what are your thoughts?
Wide open net there for Guild, and again, accuracy has been a problem for them. They're going to get punished. Oh, a save! Nolly rescues them from what would have been another tough equalizer to take, and they might still be in the receiving end of one. But you know, it's when equalizers like that go in that you just wish you would have taken your open net opportunities. They haven't had to go down that train of thought just yet, but well, they might. This is still possible for Endpoint as the clock ticks down.
Oh, look, I'm all for an open net miss. I think it really just keeps your team on their toes. You know, guys, no, we're not just getting free goals. Let's work for it. But this could be an opportunity. Relating Wave decides to send that ball to the NASA space station. Someone tell that man that the goals are about 45 kilometers below where he tried to hit it.
That shot was actually into orbit by Virtuoso. I don't know what on earth happened. It was like Devo's Scarab shot from the other day. Just skied it, absolutely skied it. And what a terrible ending to what would have been a great comeback there for Endpoint. Relating Wave got a dunk on the last man save into the post to set that up. It was a huge play by Relating Wave, a massive denial from the Guild defender. And then Virtuoso puts it way over the bar. I mean, he might have just got there a bit too soon. You know, sometimes when you come into those positions and the ball bounces up a bit higher than you're expecting, it's really difficult to get the car over the top of it. You know, you got to get your knee over the ball there, guys, or else it's going to go up into the stadium. You know, thank goodness for Virtuoso. He would have been pretty embarrassed there. It was going to go clean over the stand into the ocean, because there is actually an ocean behind that wall. In Utopia Coliseum. How on earth would they have got the ball back from there? You know, thank goodness Psyonix had the foresight to build a wall and the ceiling around them, around the pitch, to stop things like that from happening.
You don't know about the ball boys?
The ball, was that ball B-U-O-Y?
The egg... the egg boys. The egg retrievalists. They just retrieve the ball for you if you whack that ball too hard, you know. You wouldn't understand, because you can't hit a ball outside the stadium with your power.
No, I thought you were saying ball boy as in, you know, ocean boy floating out there. But how do they get out there?
But I didn't want to run with it.
They got a little boat out there. Do they swim? I don't know. I mean, there's actually a lot of lore that I would love to find out about with the egg people in the Rocket League world. I'm waiting for the Rocket League MMO. I'm sure it'll be a ton of fun. Psyonix, please. Back to here. You know, you said after 2 games you just turn this into a best of 5. Well, now we turn it into a best of 3. Just a quick math there.
We are so good at math.
Yeah.
That is top tier from us. Yeah, it is a best of 3, and that might be it. Never mind. Lovely little save there coming out.
Yeah, lovely indeed. But will it be another air dribble for Guild? If I had to guess, I would put it on an air dribble being their next goal. What would you have to go for? Infield pass, maybe? No. Okay. CJ, what do you reckon? Guild's goal. Where's it coming from?
You can't just call something as it's happening and then be like, I told you so. Wow, that's so smart. Look, I'm not sure, but what I am sure is that this series is going to go to best of 7. The game 7, should I say, because, you know, it just feels like one of those.
Oh!
Devo almost tripped on the post. One of my favorite moves that I've claimed.
I've mastered that one personally. It's but I mean, in my car, whenever I trip on the post, it's a bit more of a floppy recovery. Definitely like immediate loss of control. But Devo kept under control, and this is some good reactive defense, though. Had nice coverage there on Endpoint's free shot. You know, I've not seen many air dribble opportunities here, so I'm not too happy about that. You know, I've said air dribble if Guild score, solo air dribble, vanilla air dribble, nothing fancy. If Endpoint score, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Relating Wave, flip reset.
Okay, I like this. You know, Beyond the Summit has a good record with crazy predictions. So
it does,
you know
yeah.
I'm not only going to call the goal, I'm going to call though 2 minutes 39. Nice little top mid-right corner shot to, you know, get the lead.
No, listen, if you look closely, there's a little bit of an air dribble there, just there, right? See there?
Yeah.
Kind of an air dribble if you just close your eyes and, you know, blur things a little bit. It's like real life motion blur. You know, I could see kind of, you know, maybe not, but anyway, we still got a chance for the Relating Wave flip reset goal. That one could. Oh, throw the air dribble! I was right. There it is. 2-0.
Yeah, what an air dribble here from Tho. You can see him just carry this ball right up to Mars and then put it right back down. Great air dribble. 2-0 to Guild.
There are 2 elements to that. First of all, he jumps to establish the air component of the play, and then he dribbled afterwards to actually score.
It's like the air
Fantastic
hyphen
stuff.
dribble.
Yes, precisely. I mean, that's what I meant, obviously, when I was guessing earlier. But you know, like I said, I'm waiting for Lightning Wave Slippery Set. It's going to be the most exciting goal of the game, surely, and the sooner the better for Endpoint. That kind of goal really does boost the confidence. It really brings back positivity into the comms. And these guys, you know, if I had to guess, we can't listen into their comms, but they would probably just be saying "Let's go" over and over again.
Yeah, no, Let's Go is a great, you know, it's probably more of a North American thing, that the Let's Go team name, Let's Go, you know.
Yes.
Generally, one of the best chants I've ever heard. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're ever at a live event and you really want to get your team up and about, if you hit them with a Let's Go team name, Let's Go clap clap, that can absolutely turn a series on its head, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure to use that one, as that's a great touch from the man, the myth, Devo.
Beautiful. Devo with the pre-flip, and what a heavy touch that is. Relating Wave was actually watching him that entire time. You could see Devo coming in for that hit on the ball, but he didn't expect it to come in at that speed, and that's all because Devo's, you know, powering through the ball with the air roll at the end there to get every last ounce of power. Guild are just a minute and 30 seconds away from double match point, and I don't think Relating Wave Slippery Set solo play is going to save Endpoint anymore. It's just too late. Oh, how about that? Nolly has somehow stolen this one. I think he stole it. Let's take another look. Did he actually put this on target?
He has. Yep.
Yeah, this looked like it was going in, but either way, you know, that touch is definitely a good idea because it just takes the eyes away from the play from the defense.
Absolutely, and you saw Buffy Sugo just fly out of that net there. I don't know how she fits in the net. She's a very large woman, but she just manages to fly out of that net every time and just give us a little dance. The same dance. I don't know how she repeats the same dance every time either, but great little goal explosion there.
Yeah, one of the best in the game, of course, but, you know, as an unbiased caster, I've got to say that all of them are equally good. Just, you know, pick whichever one you want. The Guild are just absolutely stomping Endpoint in this game. And, you know, again, just since I am such an unbiased caster, if I was to pick an MVP for this match, I would say all of the players. They all deserve participation medals. I think they've all done great.
Well, look, all right, look, let's go back to the goal explosion then. You reckon that all goal explosions are equal? I want you to sell to me right now, standard goal explosion, standard red goal explosion. Sell it to me right now as why it's so good.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's really quite simple. I'm not a goal explosionist, so when I see a goal explosion, you know, you might be seeing lots of different colors and lots of different shapes and sizes. I just see the same thing every time. I just see the ball disappearing. You know, it's not the what's on the surface that matters. Like you said, it is just the fact that it has resulted in a goal. It's an extra point for your team. That's all that matters. Everybody out there with a standard goal explosion, you guys are killing the game. Keep it up.
You're looking at the molecules behind the goal explosion rather than what the overall picture. You're looking at the individual elements. That's beautiful. And I don't know how you do it. You are such a equal, unbiased person. You know, I'd like you to, you know, Mandela. I mean, it's just it's sensational the way that you can just, you know, preach about life to us. Thank you for letting me talk to you. You know, this is an honor right now just to talk to someone who's so, you know, what's the opposite of discrimination? Just that's you. Equal. Not non-discriminative.
Yeah. I mean, I would say the same about you, CJ. It's been an absolute pleasure to get you back in the casting desk. I mean, there's not one player in the world that I'd rather see retire than you, just so that you can become a full-time caster. And I really do mean that. But you know, at the same time, best of luck with your continued Rocket League career. It's always good to see you succeed. You know, have you ever thought about casting a tournament that you're also playing in, so you could cast the other teams? Whenever you're not playing, you can cast the games. Whenever you are playing, you could play them and win the tournament, because it's been done before in esports. Maybe you could be the guy to pull that out in Rocket League.
I was thinking about just casting the games I am playing in.
Or that, yeah.
Maybe like the lower matches, the early matches, perhaps we don't need some comms. You know what I mean? We're working our way through the tournament. I'm jumping in with you, and I'm just casting it as I'm playing.
Yeah, I mean we've had that this year actually from Guild when Scrubkiller was still on the team. He was, technically casting his own game
That
during
is
our
true.
offline.
That did not go down well either. Let's move on from that.
I tell you, I don't know if it's the best method to be following, but Guild are on track here. This is good enough, I would say. For them, they haven't looked as impressive as Giants. I don't think they've looked as impressive as Vitality. But they've looked good enough to beat Endpoint today. However, you did say that this is probably going to go to Game 7. It's probably going to turn into a best of 1. And that's a very cheeky pass by Metza. He was just lingering up there like a bad smell. And Guild, they forgot to bring the air freshener there. Although, personally, these little air freshener, like Christmas tree type things for cars, not a big fan. Unless, of course, they are looking to sponsor BTS, then I love them. But, Endpoint, They've got back in the lead here only until 25 seconds into the game, though. Guild with a nice response.
That's a beautiful shot from Gnarly, and I bet he has an air freshener that smells like Monster Energy in his car.
Yeah.
A little Christmas tree fueled by Monster. You know what I'm saying?
Or Juke GG, if whatever that does smell like. But if it does have a smell,
I appreciate it.
I mean, you could actually just release the Juke GG air freshener, and it just
smells like victory.
Smells of nothing, but it's just a placebo. You tell people it smells of Juke GG, and they're like, yeah, oh yeah, I can totally smell that. Yeah, love that.
Yeah, there'll be guys on Reddit like, this smells like heavy car bug. I'm so placeboed right now.
Well, Endpoint kind of falling apart here. The last 2 defensive plays, they've had multiple players kind of committing on the same ball, and Guilds just ran away with it. Nolly didn't go for the steal there, didn't get the steal, I should say, on Tho's goal that time. What do you reckon? Do you think Tho's yelling him off? He's saying, if you steal that, I am not giving you any presents for Christmas? Or what kind of what kind of motivation do you think you would give him?
Well, I usually say to my teammates, I will hurt you, not physically, because that's not what we're about on a PG cast. But I'll get you, and that's all we leave it at. They don't know what that means, but they just know, do not steal a goal, because it's all about the points in the Octane.gg stats. So that's what we're all about here. Anyway, I'll do a predict right now. 2-1 up for Guild. 3.5 minutes left. I don't want you to predict the next goal, Johnny. I want you to predict the next goal explosion. I'm going to go Buffy. My girl, Buffy Sugo.
It's at this point that I really wish I was observant. I couldn't tell you a single goal explosion in this lobby. Wait, is Evo still using... No, what was he using yesterday? I actually have forgotten all the goal explosions, mate. I haven't got a clue. I'm like the least observant person.
Look at your standard red.
Standard. I mean, it's awful. It's just awful. Honestly, like sometimes I'll walk into a room that's been completely redecorated. I won't even notice. I'll sit down and then someone will be looking at me like, you gonna say anything? And I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I'm actually just that person. I don't notice a single thing. Don't ask me, what the number plate was of the car that just drove past. It was suspicious. Haven't got a clue, mate. Doesn't really help me in Mafia, as you guys can see. Guild 3-1 though. This is looking bad for Endpoint. Though, kind of a just perfect arrival time, I would say, off that pass from Nolly compared to Relating Wave, who's spinning around. He's turning around in no man's land at the worst possible moment.
I mean, it's good to say that, you really didn't want it to go to a Game 7 because you just couldn't wait to mention the Game 7 factor as soon as Endpoint scored. And since then, Guild have put on 3 and said, nah, we ain't going to Game 7 and make that a 4th.
And that is a tilter right there. Nolly just puts his head down and charges into the ball. Virtuoso's he's trying to go for the 300 IQ play there. He's saying, oh, hey, look, I might flick this. But Nolly, he's actually gone for the prehistoric, almost. The absolute baseline play of see ball, hit ball. And actually, that just beats mind games. The most basic standard approach to defending will beat the very, attempted intelligent play there in the mind game, and in fact crushes it straight into the net. 4-1. Still a long time left for Endpoint, but they've got to start scoring pretty soon.
100%. It's a bit of a hidden in plain sight sort of thing, isn't it? That if you do the obvious thing, it's actually probably the least obvious thing, especially or particularly when the opponent does respect you immensely. And that's obviously we're in the highest echelon of Rocket League right here in Europe. And everyone respects everyone. So if you just go, I said it, the low dribbler, bottom middle of net.
Yeah.
They expect something. They expect something a lot better. They're like, no way he's going to just shoot this and just do nothing with it. As Devo puts in a 5th goal, And is this game over, John? It might be.
I think it is. And Guild have absolutely played the near post to perfection this game. We talked about it earlier. Tho had a perfect time of arrival to smash in Nolly's pass. Now Devo does the same thing. Nolly's able to deflect the ball into that corner, and Devo's first on the scene. Endpoint have been kind of just caught sleeping on the goal line for a couple of these plays. And unfortunately, in between all that, they've really just not been able to get anything going. Far too risky. Again, Virtuoso is going to dribble straight down the middle. This time he gets a flick over one, but you can see it's not really a problem. The dive-in challenge by the first player doesn't matter if it gets outplayed because there's backup for Guild. They can afford to take those risks. They can afford to ball chase on their initial challenges. And they're going to deny Relating Wave as well. Not even Endpoint's clutch player is going to be able to pull anything out for them.
I mean, Guild, I'd say, although, I guess it's easy to say now, Johnny, because, now they're in front, but they seem like the team that are sort of producing, a little bit more. So we've from Endpoint's point of view, we saw some good, Metanoris redirect and stuff, but it was a little bit few and far between for those guys there. As I say that, just right on cue, they do get a goal. But it just seems like Guild have just, this series at least have had more up their alley, you know what I mean? They look a little bit more threatening.
Absolutely. No. It's kind of following the same pattern that we've seen all tournament long. You'd usually expect the team that has performed very well during group stage to bounce back from an upper bracket loss here. But Endpoint, just like Galaxy Racer, the kings of their groups are taking L's here, more L's than they can handle. They do still have a little bit of time to play with here, but like you said yourself, from the Endpoint, it is just not going to work out. From the Endpoint of view, they need to start scoring at a much greater rate, not here. 35 seconds left, CJ. It's not looking good for them.
I'm about to cast with Yummy. I don't need any of that. And you can save those. I think you're casting with Yummy later on today.
Indeed.
So I need you to just not bring those out right now. This is our sanctuary. As Vert does get a little butt down. This is our sanctuary, Johnny. We don't need any dad jokes.
Okay. Okay, so there's actually still a chance here, CJ. 21 seconds. That's plenty of time. But now is the time to pull out some different kickoff strategy. Even fakes on the diagonal spawns can be disruptive in this kind of position. But just like I was talking about with Smellsworth in the last series, just not much creativity coming out from the center circle. Endpoint playing it absolutely standard. But that's something different. Fart goes for the mind game, couldn't get around the ball. And Guild will get away with it. They've done it. They will advance. They've eliminated Endpoint from the tournament. And this event continues to be completely surprising. It's been nothing but upsets in the group stage, and now both of the winners from the groups, Galaxy Racer and Endpoint, are out. 2 losses in a row for each of them on the day.
Yeah, and again, it was a strong showing. You mentioned it before, Endpoint. I mean, they did go, top of the group, top of Group B, 2-0 undefeated. They copped that upper bracket loss, and I mean, I was still impressed with what I saw from Endpoint. I know you spoke about it at the start of this series. Everyone used to be like, Endpoint, it's just the demos, they're one-dimensional. I've been pretty impressed with what I've seen from them so far. That is particularly early on there. That game against Top Blokes was super impressive, that 4-2 win. So, I think they certainly have a lot to build on. Whether or not they're just going to go on a break right now, Christmas break, get fat and forget how to play Rocket League, we'll have to find out. But from what we saw, I think it was a good end to the year from Endpoint, just purely on what we've seen on the pitch.
Yeah, Endpoint, like Galaxy Racer, they can still be happy with what they've done this year, and I think they've definitely stepped up compared to what a lot of people were expecting from them. Sad to see them go already, but that is how it works in this format. Guild advance. Now, we'll be back after a very short break to take a closer look at what happened in this series, so do not miss it. We'll be back in a few.
Welcome back to Rocket League Summit 2, brought to you by Duke.gg and Monster Energy. I'm Cole. I'm joined by Johnnyboi and CJ, and I'm a little bit nervous because I'm proud to introduce to everybody, this is Jasper.
Oh,
this little guy is my doggy. He is a Cavachon, which is a Cavalier King Charles, which is a Bichon Frise, and he's never been up here before. So I'm a little bit nervous, but very gently I can introduce him to you guys. While I stroke him.
absolutely natural. He's a
Johnny,
natural.
can you talk us through the Rocket League or whatever, or ask me about
Cole,
Pay
I
on him or anything?
think you might be putting him to sleep actually with your conversation there, Cole. He was just nodding off a little bit there. It's either that or you are just that comfortable of a guy to be around.
I hope so. He seems
First one.
very calm. We drove him home yesterday, and he was just a darling. He didn't make any noise at all. Are you guys dog people? Have you had dogs, CJ?
Yes,
all the time?
have indeed.
And Johnny?
I don't own a dog. I'm a dog person though. My girlfriend has a lot of dogs. Has about 5. So
Does she?
love
Wow.
them. Love them. Very cute.
I see you being a Yorkie person, CJ. Just a really little mini dog that is lovely.
No, big dog. Love a border collie actually. If we're going to talk
Okay.
about dog breeds, love a border collie. Very smart. Very smart.
Very
The
nice
most
indeed.
intelligent dogs I heard, actually.
Anyway, Rocket League.
Oh yeah, sorry. So who won?
So sorry to tell you, Cole. Your boys Endpoint were not able to take the win there. That's 2 losses straight for them on the day. But yeah, it was not a bad tournament for them. You know, if you're going to lose, if you're going to be eliminated from the tournament, you might as well do it by losing to Dignitas, who are probably the most improved team in this tournament, I would say. And Guild, who have looked completely revitalized after the addition of Devo.
Yeah, and Guild, who always beat them as well. I know that you were very impressed with Devo, CJ, throughout that series.
Oh yeah, 100%. He was on, and as soon as I said that, you know, he's been such an improved player in my eyes on this lineup, he just started banging in some goals, and it was just beautiful to see. I think he was listening. He might be watching the stream. Gave him that confidence booster, and they just ran with it. You know, particularly that game number 6. We expected a game 7, and they actually conceded the first goal of that game. But as soon as Johnny said it's going to game 7, Guild said, nah, let's finish this one off, and they absolutely smacked them.
They did indeed. All 3 players played brilliantly, including Nolly from the winning team. Welcome to the stream, Nolly. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm holding a dog. Are you a dog person, Nolly?
Yeah, I am.
Do you have a dog?
I did, but it died.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine. It was a year ago.
I'm sure it was absolutely lovely. Well,
It was.
Congratulations on that performance. Sorry, I'm very distracted. How have you guys found it with Devo stepping in? Because he is one of the old guard of Rocket League.
I mean, I've always wanted a team with him. I've said it in multiple interviews, and so like to actually play with him, we were in a bit of a slump, but I feel like now that we're more relaxed and not trying to force it feels way better.
So, I mean, you said there yourself, you've always wanted to play with Devo. You call yourself Devo's biggest fan. How important are those, good vibes to you guys? Because we saw in the previous split, you guys just did not have a good time, and it just wasn't working out. You couldn't put, it together on the pitch. But now it seems like you guys are just having a much better time, not only performing at your peak, but also able to come back when you're having a bad tournament. Like this one up until today wasn't going all that well for you. Now you're bounced back. Talk us through like the atmosphere for the team now.
I mean, in that game before, like, I think there was a time where I couldn't stop laughing for like a minute. I didn't calm at all. I think it was when Dave missed an open net, and I was just, I was dying. There was not much I could say or do. So it's definitely a lot better, like the vibes as a whole compared to last split, and there's more to come now that we're not trying to force it, like I said before.
Now, Nolly, when you joined this call, I was looking at you. You had your jumper zipped up, and you were just looking clean. You still are looking good, but talk to me. Is it cold in your room?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm loving it. I thought, did you play in that? Because like when I'm playing, I have to take off. I feel like I've got a heavy carb up if I've got a jumper on. Is it cold in your room? Talk to me, because right now you've gone for fashion over, playing better. In my eyes.
Yeah, it was cold at first, but now I'm like quite hot. So as soon as I took her off, Gregan said, "Who wants to do the interview?" And I thought I might as well. I'm in a good vibe, good mood, so I'll come and do
the
it.
jumper,
and then,
nice and
then I
serious.
put it back on.
I like
Love
it.
it,
Well,
love
it does look good indeed. Yeah, I'm with you there, CJ, as well. Where if I'm playing in a jumper, I feel like it affects me a lot. How are things with Gregan? Because obviously he's a good friend of mine and Stumpy's. How is he getting on with the new team dynamic?
I think he's enjoying it a lot more because we're all like more willing to listen. I feel like last split, because of the vibes were bad, we didn't really want to work as hard. But now we're willing to just put in all of our effort. And yeah.
No, it makes perfect sense. Well, thank you very much for joining us. You got Giants Gaming up next. Any thoughts ahead of that series, just quickly?
It's going to be good. I like playing them. You know, they make me play at 110%. So yeah.
Good. Well, I'm sure it'll be an absolutely thrilling series. Good luck for the rest of the event to you and the guys from Girls. And to
Thank
everybody
you.
else, come back in a few minutes because the Rocket League continues.